How are we doing here today? As you can see, dude, we're finally back on the second channel. And literally, I haven't again uploaded 1 month, but basically, just spilled water on myself. Basically, guys, dude, this is the time where 2K is, like, completely dead. Okay, so you guys can see on the main channel, so I'm not uploading every single day for the sole reason that, dude, once 2K21 comes out, the grind is going to be insane. Just like last year, it's going to be insane. We're going to be streaming it all, you know, on the camera and everything, but we're going to be streaming it. So I don't want to waste all my energy putting it to uploads that are pretty much useless at the very end of the year. So, I mean, obviously, I'm still going to upload, but not just as much because this is literally the very end of the year, okay? But on the other hand, the NBA is just starting to heat up. The NBA is just starting to heat up, so I'm like, dude, why don't, before the NBA playoffs come out tomorrow, I put out my predictions. So we got right here, 2020 playoff predictions, just a bracket here. Now, you guys can go along with me, tell me where you think I'm making mistakes, and let me know who you got, you know, who you got different. Okay, but just before we get into this, I got one hot take series. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I got one hot take series. So, one of these series, I'm going to predict a hot take. Alright, so that doesn't mean I'm betting my money on them necessarily, but it's a hot take, alright? So, let's just start off with the first, okay? Now, I find this incredibly, like, let me take a sip of water. I find this incredibly disrespectful to LeBron James. Dude, I am not even a fan. I am one of the farthest things from a LeBron fan. I am literally one of the farthest things from a LeBron fan. But, bro, people actually think the Blazers can win the series. Y'all actually think the Blazers can win the series? Like, not win 1 or 2 games. Yes, I think they could win 1 or 2 games. But win the series? Are you insane? Are you actually insane? I got Lakers in 4. I'm calling a sweep, okay? I'm calling a sweep. I could see the Blazers winning 2 games max. Realistically, they might win 1. I'm going to guess a sweep, though, because the Blazers, listen, even without Avery Bradley, the Lakers still have great defense. They're still one of the best defensive teams in the league, even without Avery Bradley. Okay, so we still are a great defensive team and a great offensive team versus a team that's great offensive, yes, but we combat that with great defense. Now, Damian CJ still should put up numbers, but overall our defense will impact them. On top of that, we have one of the best offenses in the league compared to their horrendous defense. Literally, if they score 150, we're scoring 170 type defense. So for that reason alone, and for the reason that nobody on this planet, like nobody can guard LeBron on the Blazers. Nobody. Who are you going to put on? Melo? Gary Trent? Old 6'5" of Gary Trent. Now, I like Gary Trent. I've been on the Gary Trent wagon for a minute now. I've said he's a good-ass player, and he's a key part to their future. He is a good-ass player. But bro, if that's your best defender for LeBron, you are in trouble. I see LeBron scoring anywhere from 26 to 29 points per game, but I would not be surprised if LeBron goes out here and scores 31 to 34 points a game this series. I would not be surprised. Nobody, absolutely nobody can hold LeBron on the Blazers. So that's why they're missing Trevor Ariza a lot. See, if they had Trevor Ariza, I could be like, all right, Portland's for sure going to win 1 game. I can't say that now. Trevor Ariza was by far their best defender for LeBron at least. Gary Trent, dude, he can play defense, bro, but he should not be your main option for LeBron. And Gary Trent doesn't even start either. So who's going to guard LeBron? Who? And who's going to guard AD? The bigs aren't that bad at defense on the Blazers, but bro, none of them can hold AD. None of them can hold AD. So for that reason, I got Lakers over Blazers. Now, I do expect Lillard to go off this series, though, because we're missing Bradley. Now, we still have Green, who's good at defense, but we're missing Bradley, our main perimeter defender. So I do expect Dave and CJ to put up numbers, but won't be enough to get any wins, maybe 1 win back. That's what I got in the first round. So now we're going to switch over to the Eastern Conference, first round 1 through 8. And I'm not going to lie, I got Bucks in 40. Not much to be said here. I could see maybe the Bucks shooting bad 1 game. Giannis goes like, 5 for like 13. It has like 19 points and they lose. Maybe. Not much to say about this series. I expect Giannis to go off this playoffs. Last year, he played mediocre against the Raptors. Okay, he didn't play like horrible or anything. He shot like, I think, 22 and 15. But he played mediocre. He only shot like 44%. So I expect Giannis to come different this playoffs. Expect him to average like 27 to 30 in this series. And like 12, 13 boards. That one's an easy pick. Now this is my hot take series, okay? We're switching back over to the West. And we got Rockets and OKC. Now, I said this before Westbrook gets injured. But my hot take series is I got this series going 7 games. Okay, I got this series going 7 games. I got OKC winning that. I said that before Westbrook get injured simply for the fact that I want to pick one hot take for a series. If you don't know what hot take is, basically it's like kind of like one wild guess, like something people wouldn't see, like an upset happening basically. I could see that happening here. People underestimate OKC. I said I got OKC over the Rockets on Twitter, and dudes were calling me crazy. Now listen, if I'm betting my money on this series, I'm gonna bet on the Rockets, okay? I'm gonna bet on the Rockets. But for a hot take, I could definitely see OKC beating him. Chris Paul is fully healthy. Chris Paul is looking nasty. Shea, they got Gallinari, put it in bucket. Steven Adams, Dennis Schroeder off the bench. Hey, OKC's got a nice-ass team. Roberson's back too for defense, so they got a nice-ass team. I could see them beating them. I got it in 7, though. I got it in 7. Now, switching back over to the East. Pacers in Miami. Now, this one, I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like most people have Heat in this series. I would also agree that I got Heat in this series. I got Heat in 6. Now, it's a very big different story if, you know, Sabonis and I think, is Bogdan even on that team anymore? If he is, yeah. But I'm pretty sure he's out for the season. If Bogdan and Sabonis were healthy, I might actually have Pacers in 7 if they were both healthy and playing. Because if you add those two players, that's a completely different team. Those are two very good players to add to a squad. So you're missing those two players. I'm gonna have to go with the Heat. But I could see an upset here happening for the simple fact that a lot of the players the Heat are relying on are what? Bam. Bam's been in the league for what, 2 years? 3 years? He hasn't been in the league for a long time. Chris Nunn. Nunn's been in the league for a literal year. He's been playing trash the last couple of games. Tyler Hero's a rookie. Duncan Robinson's a second-year player. These guys, you're relying on a lot of guys to step up in the playoffs that have never been there before. Simply have never been there before. I think Bam maybe has, maybe. But I could be wrong on that. But you're asking a lot of guys to step up who have little to no experience, so I could see an upset there happening. But I'm still going to take the Heat because their defense is OD. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. I wish Dallas matched up here versus Denver because I said I have Dallas beating Denver in a series. I have them beating Denver in 6 games. But since they, you know, kept the 7th seed, sadly, I'm going Nuggets in 5. I said this since the season started, bro. The Jazz are a fluke. The Jazz are literally a fluke. They've been playing so trash recently, too. I don't know what they were doing. Donovan Mitchell's a nice-ass young player, but I don't know what the hell they're doing. I got Nuggets in 5. Especially with Michael Porter Jr. playing well now, too. Call it a wraps. Dude, the Jazz, I don't know what they have to do. They got to get rid of Gobert or something, but they got to reconstruct that team because that team's not really doing anything. There's going to be a middle-of-the-pack team that always gets out in the 1st or 2nd round. Kind of like a couple, like 10 years ago when they had Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer. Good team, not good enough. This series right here, though, Philadelphia is very interesting because, yes, Ben Simmons is injured, but Joel Embiid is actually playing, so they actually don't have a bad squad. I think it's Shake Milton starting, unless I'm crazy. Shake Milton. Josh Richardson, a good-ass player. That's a good-ass player. Tobias Harris, that's another good-ass player. Now, I don't know if they're starting Al Horford. I've been keeping up with the games, so I don't know if they're starting Al Horford now because Ben Simmons is injured. And then you can possibly have Al Horford and then Joel Embiid. Maybe you sub in Korkmaz and then you play Josh Richardson at the 3, Tobias at the 4 if you want to go smaller a little bit, then Embiid at the 5. Maybe you want to do that. So I'm not kidding. I could see an upset here. You can call me crazy. I could see the 76ers winning this in 7. I could see it happening. I really am. I'm so interested to see how Joel Embiid plays without Simmons. Not to say like, oh my God, he has to play well now. But I really want to see how much different it looks without Ben Simmons at all. It's just Joel Embiid there being the main guy. I want to see how that plays out. Very interested. But just for the simple fact that Ben Simmons is injured too, though, I would have to pick the Celtics in 6. I got the Celtics in 6 on that one, so that's the sole reason. Like, if Ben Simmons was playing, I would have the Sixers. I would have the Sixers in 7. But, you know, he's injured, so he's gone. This series right here, sadly, dude, I love Luka. You guys watch my main channel. You know I love Luka, bro. It's my favorite player in the league, Luka. Magic, man. I love him. Shit, I love this man. I love this man. But, dude, the Mavs are losing in 5, bro. Maybe 4. Like, they're losing in 5. I could see it going 6. It could. Possibly. Best case scenario, I think it could go 6. Possibly 7. That's like a 1% chance. I really see this going 5, though. Clippers are literally they just got too much, man. They just got too much. Like, yeah, you got Luka and Kristaps, and then, I don't know, like, and people always complain about the Mavs defense, but statistically, the Mavs defense is actually in the middle of the pack. So they're not as bad as a defensive team as you actually think. It's not like they're Portland. Dallas actually is not that bad of a defensive team as people make them out to be. I just think the Clippers are simply too much, man. Luka, give it 1 to 2 years, maybe 3 max, and barring Mark Cuban gets some better players, they'll be one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league. Dead ass. That's how good their future is with Porzingis and Luka. Right now, though, they don't got enough. They don't got, like, that third player. Like, for instance, if they had somebody like Paul George, like, kind of like a clone, but, like, somebody like Paul George as their 3rd or 2nd option, that should be set. They need a good defensive player that can also score. Dorian Finney-Smith is nice, He's a good player, but he's not on, obviously not on like a Paul George level. If you have somebody like that can guard the wing and score on that team, maybe like a Robert Covington, that team would be nasty as shit. They don't have that though. They can't guard Kawhi. Nobody can guard Kawhi on that team or Paul George. So I got Clippers in 5. You know, dude, Raptors. I got Raptors. I kind of want to go 4. There's not much to be said. I'll give Brooklyn a game. Karis LeVert might go off a game. I'll give Brooklyn 1 game. That's self-explanatory. Brooklyn's not going to win that series. Now, going back over here. This is the thing. I could see OKC, and that's my hot take, like, actually beating the Rockets. But when it then comes to actually OKC versus the Lakers, I'm not going to lie. I got Lakers in 5. Like, I could see OKC upsetting Rockets, but I could see the Rockets giving the Lakers a way harder chance. I could see that series going 6-7. I could see Rockets upsetting Lakers. I don't think it would happen, but that's an actual real possibility. Like a 20 to 30% chance that could actually happen. But I don't give a chance at all to OKC beating LeBron at all. You know, they're actually a good-ass team too, but they just don't got enough. Simply, they don't got enough either. Bucks, Miami. I know I'm going to trigger a lot of people with this, okay? I know I'm going to trigger a lot of people with this. I got Bucks in 5. I got Bucks in 5. I'm not going to say a sweep. I do think the Heat will take 1. I think the Heat will take 1. But I'm not going to lie. Dude, when Heat fans said Bam was the Giannis stopper, the last time they played, Giannis just shut that shit down. Giannis had like 33 and like 15 or some shit. He just completely dicked Bam. So that is out of the question. I think Giannis is going to go crazy that series. I think he's averaging like 27 to 31 and like 14 and 6. Like, I think Giannis goes crazy that series. And he just simply dominates. And then the role player stepping up. One key thing for the Bucks though is Chris Middleton has to play well. Last year he played horrible versus the Raptors. Horrible. He can't do that shit again, because if he does that shit again, especially to make it to the conference finals, which they should. But, dude, I don't think... If Chris Middleton underperforms and they face somebody like the Celtics or Raptors, I think they will actually lose if Chris Middleton doesn't play like he should. Because he played trash last year. Trash. That's just one key thing I would look out for there. But, yeah, I got Bucks in 5. Okay, in 5. Now, this one, dude, the Clippers, I'm not gonna lie, they got the easier side of the bracket rather than the Lakers. I will say, though, Houston actually is a really good challenge for like anybody in the league. So that's actually, barring Houston makes it instead, that's actually a really tough road, I'm not gonna lie. But I got Clippers in 5 here. I just think they're too good. Nuggets don't have enough experience yet. I just literally think the Clippers are too good for the Nuggets, man. Like, I could see the Nuggets upsetting them. Like, and when I say that, there's like a very, very, very slim chance of that happening. I think it's possible, but I just think Clippers are way too good. Kawhi's way too good. Playoff Kawhi is insane. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. So, this series is an amazing series. Now, I'm going to say this series goes 7, okay? This series goes 7, and I'm giving it to the Raptors. This series could go either way. This series is so good. I seriously think, you know, I could see the Celtics winning in 6 games. And kind of easily. Like, I could see that. On the other hand, I could see the Raptors winning 6. And it's not insanely hard. And I could see the Raptors winning in 7. Edging it out in Game 7. I could totally see that happening. So I do think the experience will pay off in this. And it will just edge them out versus the young Tatum-led Celtics. Because we also have to see how well Tatum's going to play. Last year, everyone wanted to put the blame on Kyrie, but Tatum played like shit in last year's playoffs. He played like shit. So we're going to have to see how he plays as the main star this year. I hope he plays well because I like Tatum, but we're going to have to see because that's... A lot of people really don't point that out about last year. Like, he wasn't even the main guy, and he played like trash. Edging them out, okay? Now, Clippers versus Lakers. I'm going to do that one after because that's the one everybody probably came here to see, okay? Bucks versus Raptors. I'm not going to lie. I got Bucks in 6. I'm going to just keep it a buck. I just think it's Giannis' year to get to the finals. To be honest, I just think it's his year to get to the finals. I think he will go crazy on the Raptors. Not like insane, but I think he'll average like 26 to 28 a game, maybe 29. I'll say like 26 points a game, 27, like 12 to 13, and like 4 to 5 on good efficiency. Like, I see Giannis having a good-ass series. Nothing crazy, but a good-ass series. And them just really edging it out. That's all it is. I really think they'll edge it out if Chris Middleton again plays well too, though, and a couple of the role players. If they play well, which I assume they will, that's what they're there to do. I'm gonna have to pick Bucks in 6. Now we got the most juicy side here. The Clippers versus the Lakers. Now, I'm going to shock some people here. This series, I think, goes 6 games. You want to know who I think it goes to? The Clippers. Now, I'm a Lakers fan, okay? You don't know, I live in Canada, so I always root for the Raptors. You know, my 2 favorite teams, I only have 2 favorite teams, like, because you're only supposed to have really one, but I live in Canada, so, like, I always got to rep the Raps, always have since I'm a kid. My favorite team has always been the Lakers, though, because of Kobe. No, Kobe's my favorite player of all time. You know I'm saying, so I do got the Clippers, though. Now, I do think LeBron will have a great series. I just think, bro, Kawhi, in my opinion, dude, Kawhi's the best player on the planet, bro. Okay? So, you got Kawhi number 1, and then you got AD, and then you got, like I'm saying from teams, you got Kawhi, and then you got LeBron and AD. So, those are the 3 best players on the court, and then you got Paul George. So, the 4 best players on the court, number 1 goes to the Clippers, number 2 and 3 goes to the Lakers, number 4 goes to the Clippers. Okay, but then all the rest down, bro, it's pretty much all Clippers. Like, you got what is it, Markieff Morris or Marcus Morris, whichever one it is. You got Pat Beverly, you got Shannon, you got Reggie Jackson, Lou Williams. Dude, their team is just so good. So good. Plus, you have playoff Kawhi. I think playoff LeBron will do his thing, but playoff Kawhi is also a different animal. He is also a different animal. He had one of the best playoff runs in history last year. Like, literally, like, top 10, top 15, top 20 playoff runs last year. Like, he literally had one of the best of all time. So, I got Clippers in 6. I got Clippers in 6. Obviously, I want Lakers to win, but I'm not being biased. I'm again with the Raptors too. I could say Raptors had just all hope into the Raptors, but I'm being honest. Who I think is gonna win? You know what I'm saying? Now in the finals, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Finals, I got Clippers in 6. I got Clippers in 6. I think Giannis might leave after this year. I think he'll resign though. I can't see Giannis leaving. If Giannis leaves, only to the Warriors, but I don't see Giannis leaving, to be honest. Don't see them beating this. If Giannis would beat the Clippers or the Lakers, okay, I think the Clippers will get there and win in 6. Kawhi's just that good. Paul George. Now, they both have great teams. I think the Clippers still have a better team, and they have the best player on the court too. So I think that edges them. You know what I'm saying? Giannis never been to the finals before. I think that edges them. Kawhi's been there, done that, and they win in 6. But if Giannis did win, okay, we all know Giannis is going to win MVP. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, or supposed to, okay? So let's say he wins both of those, all right? He had this season the best PER ever in any season ever. Second place and third place was Will Chamberlain. So before Giannis, it was first and second place to Will Chamberlain. Third place, Michael Jordan. Giannis is number 1 all time this season. This season, he's number 1 ever in PER. So you'd have that, an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP if you won. That would be insane. That would literally be insane. Do I see that happening? No, but if that did, that would be one of the best seasons ever. I do see the Clippers winning. That's just a quick side note on Giannis. I do see the Clippers winning, though. Let me know who you got. I mean, a lot of these series, I'm not going to lie, could go either way. Like the Raptors could make the finals again for sure. I just see, again, the Bucks edging them out, and I see Clippers winning it all. Let me know who you got. I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace. Want another second channel upload? Let me know. I'm going to react to games, too, by the way. Luka Magic.